Are you ready for a Halloween AI pattern? Kristen here with Enchanted Yarnworks, and today we are jumping into the fun of randomness of AI crochet patterns. So I asked my dear friend Alli over at Music Mayhem Mama, decided you should go check out her page, by the way, her channel, decided to send me a mystery to me AI created Halloween themed crochet pattern. I know, sorry, that was a mouthful. And so today we are going to delve in and see what it's all about. So please make sure you're subscribed, that notification bell's dinged, and please smash that like button, show me some love. And without further ado, let's head on over and get started on this fun little project. Are we ready? All right, so let's go ahead and get started by reading the beginning of our instructions so we know what we need and going through all of it. So this is Alli's Halloween/October AI pattern. She went in there and asked her AI program to write her a pattern with this prompt, October, Halloween. She might have just done Halloween, I'm not sure, but this is what we have. So materials that we need a worsted weight yarns, acrylic in green, black, purple, and gray. So I am going through my stash and I have a lot of different acrylic worsted weight brand yarns, but the only one I have that has all of these colors is my Caron Simply Soft. I absolutely have a ton of this stuff because I used to use it all the time. So that's what we're using for this. As you see, I have a lot of the green. I'm kind of move this up just a touch so we can see better. So our green color that we're going to be using is called Chartreuse. And I like to put my labels inside the middle when I wind my cakes, so I know exactly what they are. Black, of course, is just going to be black. Purple is here, and you know what? Oh my gosh, I don't have a label in there. So Caron Simply Soft, I'm assuming this is just plain purple. Oops, I don't know where that label went. It happens, friends. And then gray. So this is Gray Heather. That's what I have. That's what we're going to use. Okay, and then we need a small amount of black embroidery floss. You know, I do have embroidery floss, but sometimes we don't have embroidery floss. I mean, if we're just usually crocheters or knitters and we don't do cross stitching or embroidery floss things, like, why? We just have yarn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually unwind this a little bit because it has 4 plies. So I'm just going to cut a bit off and then unwind it and split it. And I'm going to use that like embroidery floss. Okay. A little trick for you if you hadn't tried or thought of it before. We need a 3.5mm hook. So this lovely little one is just one of the sets that I have purchased off of Amazon that I will link down below. Everything that I have linked here down below, linked for Amazon, I will have down below. Excuse me. I am an affiliate with Amazon. So if you do decide to go through any of those links and purchase any of these items I have here, I will get a little thank you commission from them. It does not cost you anything extra. So don't worry, you're paying the same price you would elsewhere. And I do want to say thank you in advance if you decide to go that route. But I needed to get that little disclaimer out of the way. But these hooks come in like a set of 3. So you'll get like a 3, 3.5, 4, or 2.5, 3, 3.5. I don't remember which blocking it is, but it's a set of 3. And I think it's a great deal because it's like $8 maybe. Safety eyes, 9mm or 10mm. So here we go with my trusted box of safety eyes. These guys are fantastic, guys. They start at 5mm plain black ones and go all the way up to 18mm black. And then 10 and 12mm of colors. And then you have 2 different kinds of noses. I think this is invaluable if you're doing amigurumi things and they need eyeballs and you want to use safety eyes. Now remember, I do want to say that if you are going to use safety eyes on items, make sure that you're not giving them to littles, because they can potentially come apart and, that could be a choking hazard. We don't want that, right? And then we do need stuffing, so our fiberfill and a yarn needle. As you know, I always have my trusty yarn needles here in my needle tin that comes with 18 needles of different sizes. So I have those always. We also need scissors. These are my generic-y ones. I do have a set over here of these foldable ones that actually, when I travel, these go in my little bag. I have to show you this. I'm sorry. I'm side questing, guys. But look, so I went to Walmart years ago and bought this pencil case. And this, with all my hooks, maybe I take some out. And this goes in here. And TSA don't care. It's fabulous. They go like that. Don't have to worry about it. Although they shouldn't, because it's less than 3 inches long, in case you are ever wondering. And what else do we need? Stitch markers. My new favorites. If you guys haven't been following along or seen my other videos, these little metal spiral stitch markers are my absolute favorite. So far, they have been working wonderfully for me. They are not plastic, so they don't bend and snap and break easily. There's like 100 in this little tin. I mean, insane. And they're brightly colored, so they're not going to get lost in your yarn, per se. But I love them. I love you can just slip it right in. You don't have to mess with a little toggle clasp or any of that stuff. So those are my stitch markers. Remember, all that's going to be listed down below. Stitches that we're going to be using today, we have, let me bring this back down a little bit, guys. We have our magic ring, chains, of course, single crochets, of course, single crochets, increases, decreases. We're going to do invisible decreases, slip stitches, and then stitches fasten off. And then obviously here indicates the number of stitches at the end of the round. And part 1, looks like we're doing continuous rounds, and we're starting with green yarn. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Yep, and working in the round. Yep, okay, 3.5mm hook. Okie dokie. Where am I at here? Sorry, I have my instructions out of order because when I printed them, it fell off the printer, and yeah. Okay, so green yarn. Let me move things out of the way just a little. I'm going to put this next to me so I can use gravity and allow it to unwind. So I'm working from the outside with this because then I don't have to rewind it. It's fantastic. Okay, where's my hook? All right, so we're doing a magic ring. Let's see. If you're unfamiliar with the magic ring, there's a couple ways I've seen that people do fake magic rings. If you're not comfortable with magic rings, you can do the chain and slip stitch method where you chain 4 or whatever number, slip stitch to the first, and that makes you a round. I've also seen the chain 2, and then you work everything into the first chain. So technically the second chain from the hook, but the first chain that you do, and that makes a secure magic ring, which I think is kind of neat. But we're just going to do what the AI tells us to do today, because that's what this AI experimentation is all about. So magic ring. Always make sure our short end is in the front, wrap around. The working end is on top of the fingers, and I go underneath here, pick up the working round, and pull it over, and then chain 1. Okay, so we need, let me get my stitch marker, and I'm just going to slide this guy right on here, like that. Ta-da! Okay, go over here. Now we need 6 single crochets. Now we're doing amigurumi, so I'm going to do the yarn under method opposed to yarn over. I'm going to be yarning under. So 6 of these guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So tighten that up. And since we're working in the round continuously, I will not be chaining or slip stitching. I'm just going to go straight into our first stitch, which is right here. And you know, sometimes I really make it really tight. If you do that, raise your hand. Say hey in the comments because something I need to work on. Okay, so now we're increasing. So that's 1 in each stitch up to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9, 10, and here's 11 and 12. Okay, there is our second round complete. I'm going to get my pen and start marking this so that I don't accidentally read the wrong round. Okay, move this guy over. Okay, now we are increasing to 18. So we're doing a single crochet, and then in the next stitch, we are doing an increase. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, and 15, 16, and here's 17 and 18. Okie dokie. Next up, we are going to increase to 24. So that's 2 single crochets and then an increase. So what I'm going to do to kind of save us some time, I'll go ahead and start each round, and then I'll just kind of fast forward since I've kind of explained how it's going to go. I hope that's okay. So we have 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, and then an increase for 3 and 4. Whoops. 3 and 4. Okay, so then now we just continue doing that around till we have 24. So I will go ahead and kind of fast forward through here a little bit so that I'm not taking up so much time. And the last two are 23 and 24 in our increasing stitch. All right, now we are increasing again to 30, and that is 3 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we just repeat that around until the end, which would give us 30. Okay, so our last two is 29 and 30. Okay, so then next up we have 5 rows of 30, 5 rounds, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get that started and pause the video, and then I'll see you at the end when I finish those 5 rows. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to pause and I will see you at the end of my 5 rows. Okay, so I am halfway through the last round of 30 single crochets. So I did want to come on and chit chat just a little. Otherwise, it's kind of a boring video, right? I do enjoy doing a lot of different kinds of crochet options. I haven't done many AI patterns in a bit because I was using my creativity and I was inspired to make some patterns on my own. So if you haven't seen those yet, please head on over to my other playlists and you can see what I have there. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and then dinging that notification bell, and that will guarantee that you are notified when any of my next videos or posts go live, or when I go live, either way. And then you won't miss out on the crochet creativity that goes on over here at Enchanted Yarnworks. If you are intrigued and liking the way that I do things here today, please consider hitting that like button as well, showing me some love. I really would appreciate that. And please don't be shy about commenting. I love to read everybody's comments. I've had some really just fun comments, and I've had some great feedback from some viewers, and I absolutely appreciate all of them. I am not afraid of constructive criticism, so if I'm doing something that's kind of maybe you could see I could improve on it, I'm here for that. So I like to do these patterns and I like to crochet a lot to improve on my skills and get better at things. So I am not opposed to any constructive feedback at all. So we're a happy crochet crafty family, right? Okay, so that was our 5 rounds of 30. Now we are going to start to decrease to 24, which means we do 3 single crochets. I already moved my stitch marker while I was yapping. And then we do our invisible decrease. If you have not seen an invisible decrease before, I will happily explain it to you. So this is 2, and here is 3. So now I'm going to kind of show you both. A regular decrease, single crochet decrease, is going through both loops. yarning over, going through the next stitch, both loops, yarning over, and then you pull through all 3 and continue on. The problem with that, especially when you're doing amigurumi, is if you can't tell, there's a big gaping hole, gaping hole right there. And this is really bulky and it's quite obvious. So the way to alleviate that problem is by doing the invisible decrease, which is where you just go into the front loops of the next 2 stitches and yarn under or over, whichever method you're using, pull through both of those, and then continue on like a regular single crochet. And as you see, it's nice and smooth. I do like, so like sometimes if I get, okay, focus camera. Sometimes if I get kind of lost with my countings, I can see the 2 back loops back here, and then that shows me, because this is invisible, that shows me exactly where I did my decrease, and I can count from there, which is a little trick that I have figured out. Okay, so then we need 3 more regular single crochets again. 1, 2, and here's 3. So I want to come back and show you. Can you see where we decreased? I mean, if you know what you're looking for, you can kind of see it. I mean, if you count backwards, 3, you can find it right there. But generally speaking, it's pretty invisible. And then like I was saying, on the inside where those 2 back loops are, makes it easier to see. So, okay, we did those 3. Now we're going to invisible decrease. And then 3 again. So actually, have you guys been counting how many stitches I've done? Because I have not. I have been counting between my decreases. So let's just kind of go back and see where we are. So 1, 2, 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay. This is a decrease for 12. And then 13, 14, 15, another decrease, 16, 17, 18, 19, decrease for 20, 21, 22, 23, and we end on a decrease for 24. Okie dokie. Now, we need to insert some safety eyes. It says between rounds 8 and 9. Okay, so this was 11, 10, 9. So it's going to be down here. You need to kind of mark this round so I know where we're at. Like that. Okay. I do want to put them in the front though, because this is our starting seam. I do want to kind of put them in the front. So it's going to be this row here. And how many stitches apart? 6. And it said we needed what size? 9 or 10. Okie dokie. So this is 9 and this is 10. We're going to kind of compare and see what we like better. Six stitches apart. Oh boy. I don't know. That's kind of big. Let's see. Okay, so here's 10. That's kind of cute with size 10. Let's see about the 9s. Like them both. I just want to go for it and do really big ones. What do you think? Let's do that. Let's just make them really big. Just because we can. Hey, the pattern gave me the option, right? So I'm going with it. Yeah, okay. Let me get the backs. So now they do sell this little back thingy, like on Amazon. I don't have it. I haven't used it. But so far I'm not having much trouble with getting these guys on. Another thing you can also do is kind of melt the ends and smush them down so that they will not come out so easily. Okay, there's that. We used the 10s. So cute. All right, we did that. Now we are decreasing again. Put this guy back over here because we don't need it anymore. Boom. Okay. So decreasing again, we are going to be doing 2 single crochets and then a decrease for 18 stitches. So as before, I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and then I will fast forward to make this move along a little quicker. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a very, very long video because we still have how many parts to go? This is part 1. We have a total of 3 pages here, guys. We have a total of 5 parts. So yeah, I have a feeling this video is going to be a 2-parter. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. So actually, I'm probably just going to not fast forward. I'm probably just going to cut to the end of each row. And that'll make it go even faster. Okay, so that's 2 and then a decrease. And then I'm going to pause and I will meet you at the end of this round. So remember, 2 single crochets and then a decrease all the way around to get us to 18 stitches. Okay, and we're at the end for our last decrease, which gets us to 18 stitches. And it looks like we are decreasing again to 12. So that's going to be a single crochet and then a decrease all the way around to 12. So as before, let me get started and then I'm going to go ahead and pause and then meet you at the end. So 1, and here's 2 with the decrease, and I will see you in just a second, literally. Okay, last one is our 12 with our decrease. And there we are. So now it is saying to stuff. We're going to start stuffing. Cute little round head. It says to stuff part 1 firmly and continue stuffing as we go. Please excuse the sound. That is my stuffing. Okay, so let me break this up into little bits so it's not a big chunky blob. And you want to do this if you haven't done this before, and in little increments so that it doesn't get really globby and like bunches of firm blobs in there, because you want it pretty uniform. You want it firm, but not chunky firm, if that makes any sense. Okay, that seems a bit firm for now. You can always add as we go, as it says to do. But I don't want to stuff it so much that it's going to get caught in my stitches as I go around. All right, next up we are doing around. Looks like we might be making, I don't know, but we're not decreasing. So that's kind of cool. So we're doing single crochet all the way around. So we need 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and here's 12. Okay. Next round we are increasing to 24. Interesting. Curious. Okay, that'll be fine. So that is an increase in each stitch. So 1 and 2. So I will pause here and see you at the end of this round. Okay, on my last stitch, 2 stitches for 23 and 24. And there we go. Move this over. And we are increasing again from 24 straight to 30. So this is a 3 single crochet and then an increase to 30. So it says here on the AI pattern, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause and finish, and I'll see you at the end of the round. All right, and our last one is our increase to get us 29 and 30. Okay, so there's 29, and here is 30. Okay. Is this an alien head? It looks like an alien head. But you know, it kind of reminds me, it's gonna make an octopus. This kind of reminds me of like the old divers helmets. I know, I'm nerdy. Um, anyways, moving on. So we have 2 rounds now of 30. So I will do the same. I'll just go ahead and do those and then be right back with you. All right, so there are 2 rounds of 30. Now it says to single crochet all the way around again for another 30 single crochets. And then before we finish the last stitch, we are going to change to purple. So let's go ahead and get this going. All right, so how we do the change is we don't finish just like that. And then let me get the purple. So that's going to stay like that. And then we just finish off with the purple. So instead of, yarning over and pulling through the green again, we're just yarning over and pulling through the purple. And there that goes. Pull both of those. And then we have 8 rounds of purple. So I'll get that started. I'm going to pull both of these guys up and we'll see how it works. Maybe work over them to keep them secured for a couple of stitches. That makes sense. Let's go one. And it's in the back, so I'm absolutely not worried about it being bulky and ugly. So, okay. So there we go. Let me cut this one. And I said 8 rounds. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and do those 8 rounds, and then I will be right back with you. Alrighty. So 8 rounds for what it says the clothes are complete. Now we are going to start decreasing again. And we have 4 more rounds to do. It looks like, let me double check for body part. Yep, for body part 1, we have 4 more rounds. Okay. So we are going to be doing 3 double crochets. And I will, to keep this video shorter because it's already getting pretty lengthy and we have 4 other parts to do and put it together, I hope you don't mind, I will be pausing for each round that I do so that we're not using up a lot of time. So this is 3 single crochets and then our invisible decrease. And we're going to get down to 24. So let me finish this decrease here, and then I'm going to pause and see you at the end of the round. Okay, here we are. End of this round of 24, and now we are going to decrease to 18. So we have 2 single crochets, and then we have our decrease. So 1, 2, and this will be 3, and we will continue this around all the way to 18, and I'll see you at the end. Right, so there's our 18. I decided to also, while I was paused, stuff the body a bit, and I kind of kept the shaping more of a oval, oblong shaping because it says this is the body. So rather than make it a big round cylinder, I kind of flattened it out a little bit, make it more torso shaped. Okay. All right. Next up, we are decreasing to 12. So that is going to be a single crochet and then a decrease. And now I'm going to kind of make sure I don't have the stuffing pulled. Because you don't really want it to go through the stitches, right? Okay, so that's 2. I will see you on the other side. Okay, we have 11, and our last decrease is our 12. Sorry about that. Okay, there we are with 12. Let me move my stitch marker. And then we are going to decrease all the way around to close this up. I do want to put a little bit more stuffing in there. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Kind of determined to see if I can keep that oval shape and not make it round like a cylinder. It might be wishful thinking. We'll see what happens. I focus it towards the two sides, right? It should work. I like it. Okay, my stitch marker fell off. No big deal. Put it right back on. All right, so now we're decreasing all the way around for a total of 6. All right. One. Oops, didn't quite get the loop. There we go. 2. 3. 4. Sorry, I was getting a little too close to myself. Apologies. 5, and our last one. Oops. There we are, and 6. So it says, next page, fasten off, leaving a long tail, and weave the tail through the front loop of the remaining stitches to pull tight to close. We can do that. All right, let's get a needle. Okay, we can get rid of our stitch marker. All right, so then we're just going to weave in and out of our front loops like so. Okay. And come over here. And go down the middle and gonna kind of, where's the back side? There it is. Bring it back over here. So it kind of lays a little flat. And then we can go in over here. And there's that. So pull that just a tiny bit. So when I cut it, it goes back inside. There it is. Well, okay. Whatever this guy is, he's kind of cute. All right, it's time for part 2. We need to make 2 of them. We're using green again. I wonder if we're making arms. I'm gonna put this guy over here a little bit. So, magic ring. So this is just 12 rounds. So hopefully this won't take too long. So I will do, of course, the first one, and then I will pause break and make the second. I'm going to do that for every part that needs 2 parts because, I mean, do you really need to watch me make it twice? I don't know. Okay, so 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, this one we're increasing only to 9, not doubling. Okay, I don't. There it is. Okay. This kind of is reminiscent of my AI pirate pattern that I did a few weeks back for Talk Like a Pirate Day. Honest. You guys should check that out if you haven't seen it yet. It's in the pirate playlist. Okay, so doing 9. So a single crochet, and then in the next stitch we have an increase. So this will be 2 and 3. And then repeat. Come on, buddy. 4. 5 and 6. 7, and then 8 and 9. That is the end of our second round, excuse me. Okay, and now we are going to do 2 rounds of 9. So I'm just going to count, actually, no, this is fine. So I'm just going to go around and do 2 rounds of 9, and I will be, right back with you. Alrighty, we are at our 2 rounds of 9. And now we are, it says to do another round, just like we did when we changed the colors on the body. Do another round of 9, but finish the last stitch with the purple. So that's what I'm gonna do. 1. Alrighty, here we are, the last one. Okay, we're gonna change to the purple. Just like we did last time. And there's the end of that row. So next up, we have to do 7 rounds of the purple. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We stabilize this first stitch. One. 2. Okay, so let me go ahead and do those 7 rounds of the purple, and I will be right back with you. Alrighty, so there is the last of 7 rounds. Now it says to stuff the end lightly, but don't stuff the length. So I did stuff that with my tails. I don't know. Let me see if I can put a little bit of stuffing in there in the bottom. Yep, that's probably enough. Super tiny amount. All right, next up it says to flatten the opening. So just like this. And single crochet through both sides, 4 single crochets. Alrighty. One, 2, 3, and 4. And it says to fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, here's our first. Looks like an arm. So I'm going to go ahead and make the second one. Wonder if it's going to be like that. Make the second one, and I will be right back with you. Here they are. I think these are arms because it kind of makes sense with the colors. What do you think? Alrighty, next up we have part 3, which is another pair of items, and it is calling for black yarn. Okay, so it says we are working in continuous rounds, but with black yarn, but not a magic ring. So we're chaining 5. Let me do my slip knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so slip knot, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this says to single crochet and a second chain from the hook. So it looks like we're going in a round. So I'm going to work the back loop on this one, the back bump, excuse me, so that when I come back the other way, I can work the back loop, and then that'll give us a nice line down the middle so we don't have holes. It's a little trick I learned. Okay, so 1 single crochet. Actually, let me put this little stitch marker right here. Help me keep track. Okay, and then single crochet in the next 2. And then we are doing 3 in the last. Okay, 1, 2. Work around that slip knot there. 3. Okie doke. So now we are going to come back on the other side and single crochet in the next chain, which I'm going to go back here on the back side, like I said, in the back loop. The next 2 chains, so 1 and 2. And then 2 single crochets in the last. This seems odd. You know what? I'm just going to do 2 more like so. Like that. Okay. Now we are doing an increase. One, 2, 2 single crochets. Increase 3 times. 1 and 2. 2 and 2. And here would be 3 and 2. Okay. 2 single crochets. and then increase 2 times. 1, 2, and 2, 2. Okay. Now we are single crocheting in the back loop only, all the way around. I should have 16 stitches. Let's see if I did this right, because I wasn't counting the whole time. Bad me. Oh well. Do you really count every time? Shh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, 16. I did it. Okay. Now we are going to single crochet in each stitch around. So 16 again. I'm going to go ahead and pause while I do that so we can slow down on this clock. It's getting to be a long video. I have a feeling I'm going to have to break it up into 2 videos, guys. So I will be right back with you after 16. Welcome back, welcome back. Alrighty, now we have to decrease down to 12. So we're going to do 4 single crochets. And then decrease 4 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that would give us 8. Now 4 single crochets. 9, 10, 11, and here's 12. I mathed it right. Go me. All right, we're decreasing again down to 10. Looks like we're making a foot. Kind of looks like a shoe there. Okay, so 4 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and decrease twice. 5, 6, and now single crochet 4. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'll turn my page. Okay, I have to do some stuffing. Okay, so it's a total of 10 single crochets. I'm gonna go ahead and do some stuffing, and then it wants me to single crochet 10 again and change to purple. So I'm gonna stuff and do that round, and then I will be right back with you. Okay, here we are with purple. And then we have 8, 7, let me see, 8, yes. We have 8 rows of 10 single crochets. I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. I don't, yes. Let's see. So sorry, that was out of frame. So 1, 2, 3. Let me stuff these in down here. Cut the black. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do those 8 rounds, excuse me, of the purple, and I will see you at the end of that. Okay, here is the end of our leg rounds. I'm going to stick a little bit more stuffing down here in the foot, not much, probably just that tiny bit, because it says, just like the arm, it says not to stuff the length of the item. So I just need to get this down here to the foot. Give it some stability. I kind of like that. What do you think? Okay, now it says to fasten off and leave a long tail. Got it. Actually, I want to kind of fasten it this way. Now come in here. So if you are wondering how this AI pattern crocheting bit works, I actually, people send me patterns that they ask AI to create, and I absolutely don't know what it's supposed to be. It's kind of a mystery for me, and I'm totally game for that. This pattern was submitted by my dear bestie, Alli. She actually has her own channel here on the YouTubes. And she is an elementary music teacher. I hope she doesn't mind me saying all these things. But so her channel is called Music Mayhem Mama. So she makes a bunch of little quick music videos on there. If you want to go over there and check it out, her link is down below in the description. So why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because everybody that sends me a pattern, if they have their own channel, absolutely we collaborate and I give them props and credit and put their info on my page. So if you have your own channel and you want to join in on this fun of mystery creating, you will absolutely get a blast from me. And I don't know, you might get some more traffic over there. Who knows? So, all right, this is the end of this leg. I am gonna make another one, obviously, because I have to make 2. And we have, let's see, we have 2 parts left and then assembly, but this video is getting super duper long right now, and I know you do not want to sit here with me for like 3 hours, and I love you for it, and it's okay, I'm not offended, So what's going to happen is I'm going to break this up right now, and I'm going to end this part of the video here. I will see you in a minute to chit chat about that. And then go ahead and stay tuned in a couple of days for the second part of this video, where we get to do the other two pattern parts, and then we put it all together and see what it's made. So cool beans. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in just a moment. I tell you, sometimes these patterns are very lengthy processes. I don't know, probably because I'm making them blind. I haven't seen them because I just sit down and I crochet, blindly, like right there with you in the video. And so I haven't read over the pattern. I do that on purpose because I don't want to cheat and think what might possibly be this pattern. Anyways, so yes, I have to break this up into 2 videos because I know you don't want to sit here for 2 hours watching me make this cute little guy, whatever he's going to be. Have an idea. If you have an idea, please go ahead and comment down below and let us all know if you think you know what this one's going to be. So thanks for hanging out. I know that we're not done. And please make sure that you are subscribed with that notification bell dinged, so that in the next couple days, you'll be notified when the second half of this lovely creation process is available for you to view. And please, if you like this video thus far, please hit that like button. And before we finish, though, I do want to add in there that if you would like to throw in some creativity on your end and have AI create a pattern, it could be for a holiday theme coming up. It could be random. I mean, it could be a dishcloth. It could be an airplane. It could be, a Christmas tree or a Thanksgiving turkey, or, something Halloween related, or just for fall, or whatever the season beckons you, wherever you are in the seasons when you watch this video. But the instructions on how to do that are down in the description box. But ultimately, you're going to ask AI to go ahead and create a written pattern with whatever you want it to be. Go ahead and copy and paste the instructions. Take out all the fun little nuances and labels that are going to possibly give it away for me. And go ahead and send me an email over at hello@enchantedyarnworks.com. All that's linked down below. And in the subject line, click Mystery AI Pattern. That's all you have to do. Oh, make sure you sign it with your handle or whatever name you want me to call you out on here on my channel in the video, because I'm absolutely going to link you and give you a shout out. So don't fret. And it's fun. Give it a try. We'll try it 1 time, 2 times. I don't know. I do enjoy the mystery of the creating and the process. So we'll see where it leads us. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Keep an eye out for the second half of this video coming up in the next couple of days. And we will see you then.